Welcome, everyone. This is Randy Garcia with Office Express at shop.expressbuy.com. And today I have a featured guest, one of our valued vendors from Midlabs. His name is Tim Farrell, and he's out of Cincinnati, Ohio. He's the account manager, and we're going to talk to him about so he can educate us a little bit about the different germicidal cleaners that we have and disinfectants that we have in stock down here in South Florida. As we all know, a lot of the COVID viruses are coming back as a second round. I'm in South Florida. He's in Ohio. We know that most of the states are experiencing a second round. This morning, I was listening to the news. Texas is obviously having a tough time as well. So it is important that we maintain vigilant and maintain disinfecting and using the products as well as hand sanitizer, disinfectant sprays that we're going to be talking about today, and doing anything that we can, and of course, social distancing and wearing our mask. So today we're going to talk about disinfectants, and we're going to talk to Tim a little bit because he's been in this business for a very long time. So Tim, tell us a little bit about your background and being with Midlabs and a little bit of your expertise in what you do.
Randy, thanks. Really appreciate you having me on today to talk to your customers about this subject. And yeah, I've been with Midlab going on 14 years. Kind of working in various markets from hospitality to food service to building service contractors, from floor care, hand care, disinfecting. Right now we're kind of in that time where disinfectant is the main topic and hand sanitizer. So, I thought we'd have a good talk today about the difference between cleaning and disinfecting, and then give your customers a couple of options that you have in stock, ready to go for their facility, especially with a lot of people getting reopened right now.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, to be honest with you, we typically sell all types of office products, and obviously janitorial cleaning was one sector of it, and that's sort of the area that I've gravitated to even before this COVID thing. We were doing many different products throughout the office, but I've been learning a lot since this whole COVID hit. And me and you were talking prior to the podcast that we're doing here, and I wanted you to explain a little bit about people are using just basic cleaners out there, but cleaning and disinfecting are two different things. So now that you mentioned it, tell me a little bit about like what the protocol is, so people out here that don't really know the subject matter understand differences between cleaning and sort of disinfecting.
Yeah, that's a great question because, cleaning is pretty much defined as removing soil with soap and water. So that can be a glass cleaner, a pot and pan soap in your dish, in your kitchen sink. But it can also be, just not leaving a surface wet, which a disinfectant requires you to leave the surface wet. So you can use a disinfectant cleaner as a cleaner between, let's say, between classes in a school, or to spot clean or to keep a surface clean. But in order to call that surface disinfected, you have to wait the proper amount of time and leave the surface wet to kill the pathogens. The microorganisms, that'd be bacteria, virus, things like that. This COVID-19 falls into the virus category. A lot of the viruses are not difficult to kill on the surface. They're difficult to treat and to cure in your body, but they're not very difficult to kill on the surface. But you gotta leave it wet for the recommended time that the EPA has registered your product to wait for that kill time.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, I Googled a couple of different things here, and obviously, EPA is a government agency, and tell them a little bit about what the EPA responsibility is, just so we know, and how important it is to have a number and that you can look up and make sure the product is registered.
Yeah, absolutely. So the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, we send our product formulas to the EPA to get registered, to get tested for each bacteria and virus, whether it's going to kill it and how long it takes to kill it. So, there's a variety of ingredients that go into a germicidal cleaner or germicidal disinfectant. And those germicidal, those disinfectants, they have an agent, a substance in them that kills microorganisms or pathogens, or in this case, a virus. The EPA will test those products and give a specific kill time or dwell time for each bacteria and each virus, and then they send it back with a registration number. And so that registration number is the customer's insurance policy that this product has been tested to kill what it's supposed to kill.
Good. That's a good analogy.
Absolutely. And so you can't call a product a disinfectant if it doesn't have an EPA registration, which of course all of our products do. And to verify that, customers have been using the EPA list N, and that's a search bar list that the CDC is promoting on their website, and you can link to it off the CDC website. But it's a search bar where you can put in a given, product EPA number, like this one here. We're going to talk about the germicidal cleaner. You enter that EPA number into the list N, and you can verify that it's registered, and it will kill these viruses like the SARS-CoV-2 that's out right now, the coronavirus or the COVID-19 coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, and I was a little bit confused when I first started looking into all these different types of chemicals. It says the word germicidal spray cleaner, which really means that it's a disinfectant that will kill both a virus as well as germs, because obviously there's a difference between viruses, germs, bacteria. These are all different words that are out. But we're talking specifically a virus, which is the COVID.
Yep.
So basically, it's a lingo, you would say, that is used in the industry for a kill claim of all types that use the word germicidal.
Yep. And there's many different viruses. And if you were to look at a list of the things that a certain product kills, you'd see there's a whole lot of stuff that you might be unfamiliar with, and then other things that you would be familiar with, like influenza virus and H1N1 and staph. MRSA, we heard about MRSA years ago, right? It was a big thing. And so as long as a product's been tested for what you claim it'll do on your labeling, then you can make that claim, and you can verify that with the EPA on their website to make sure that the product that you're buying in for your facility is registered to do the job.
So let's get into the product itself right now, because I want to make sure we have enough time so everybody can tune in for a short period of time and get it. Right now, I got here the germicidal 420 and 410. They obviously, the label looks exactly the same, but in the back here, there's a different number. And this is what they call RTU, which means ready to use, right? There's no dilution. You just pour it. It does come with a trigger spray, which you could spray in different areas. So talk a little bit about how you would, I know both of these products are different. You want to talk the differences between one and the other, and then how, for the average person out there that wants to disinfect and clean themselves, how exactly that would work.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got kind of brothers in our disinfectant family there, the 420 formula and the 410 formula. They're very similar in a lot of their applications. So disinfectants like this are meant for hard surfaces. So we're talking countertops, all the touch points that the CDC recommends that we focus on, light switches, keyboards, telephones, even in the food service industry, the menus, tabletops, bar tops. But most of the similarities kind of end with all the hard surfaces that you would typically touch. And then the difference is the 410 formula actually doubles as a glass cleaner. And you can, so you can use it on your mirrors. You can use it on your glass. You can use it on your plexiglass. We've seen a lot of the plexiglass and acrylic shields going up in between, at the cash registers, in between workstations and things like that, to block the droplets of the COVID-19.
I'm glad
The
you brought that up
420,
because I sorry to interrupt you, but I'm glad you brought that up because um, there was someone that had texted me or one of these podcasts and saying that when we were putting up the plexiglass that was fine and dandy, but that they said that as soon as somebody sneezes on them or whatever, it would have been contaminated. I was saying to myself, yeah, but you got to clean it. That's why you have a plexiglass. At least you didn't get the droplets on you, and you have a mask, you're good. Then the next thing is to do is to sanitize and disinfect the plexiglass, like you just mentioned.
absolutely, absolutely. And plexiglass and acrylic, they can be delicate with certain products. And so while the products for most hard surfaces, the 420 and the 410 are very similar in application, it's when you start to come up to the plexiglass, the glass, the mirrors, that the 410 is where you want to shift your focus on. The 420 is excellent in restrooms, porcelain and countertops and fixtures and really any hard surface that's not harmed by water. But if your customers are contacting you about this, I think it's really an opportunity to ask good questions and find out what their objective is and what their application is for these products. And that way you can choose which one best fits them. They might even want to use both. They might want to keep one as a restroom product, kind of a restroom, and then a front of the house and glass and mirror product with the 410. But it really opens up an opportunity for you to consult with your customer and talk about their needs.
Is there any particular surface that you would not do well with? Obviously, it's not meant for fabric and stuff like that, but would it harm, granite countertops or granite floors or or veneer wood surfaces? Is there anything that it would be too harsh, would you say? Or
No, really not. You want to watch out for unfinished wood. Anything that can get inside wood and attack the wood and be absorbed by the wood. But we've got a lot of calls about church pews and wooden surfaces like that with the churches open back up. Both of these products are appropriate for that. I do watch out for floor finish. So a finished waxed, vinyl tile floor, those surfaces, I would want something that has a neutral pH to go on a floor finish. But really, I think we're talking about surfaces that someone else has touched or coughed or sneezed on, and then you're going to touch and then bring it to your face and to your nose and your mouth. And those are really those high touch point surfaces that the CDC identifies on their websites. Again, light switches, keyboards, tabletops, countertops, things like that. Frequently touched surfaces.
is there any industries right now, this is having a big hit, would this be product used also in the food industry to wipe down where the patrons are sitting and eating, and restaurants or the hospitals? Is there any particular industry that, obviously everybody has to disinfect, but is there any particular industry that's buying and benefiting from this product right now that you would say from your experience?
You know what? It's across the board from hospitality to retail, to schools, long-term care, nursing homes, hospitals. Everybody's using these products. Some of them are buying certain concentrates, but a lot of the concentrates are hard to come by right now. And for a lot of customers, it's easier, like you said, to put a trigger sprayer onto a bottle right out of the box. You don't have to have a dispenser mounted on your wall or do any precise mixing to get the correct concentration. With these two products, you put a sprayer on it and go. I think it's a great fit for almost every customer.
One of the things I want to mention, and we spoke about this earlier, we know that there's a lot of products that are still on allocation. And even you and me spoke a while back that at some point you were even having problems getting some raw materials and even some of these containers where you put these chemicals in. But we all know that the wipes out there, whether it's Lysol or Clorox wipes, are very, very hard to get a hold of. If you get a shipment in, it goes right out the door. It's a lot of back orders across the country. We were fortunate enough to get some of the sprays out there, but people are still calling me daily, where's the Lysol wipes, Clorox wipes? And what I've been telling them is, hey, listen, we got a germicidal cleaner. You can get yourself a roll of paper towels, which we have plenty of, and you buy this product that does have come with a trigger spray. They come 12 to a container. I believe they're 32-ounce bottles, and you can spray all day long and clean your phone, clean the work surfaces, just like you do a Lysol wipe or a Clorox wipe. And would you say that would be a good alternative, or?
Absolutely, and I'm seeing the same thing in my market, and it's really across the board, across the country. The wipes are very scarce to come by right now. With one of these products, you're essentially kind of making your own wipe by wetting down a paper towel, and really, you know, we talk about cleaning versus disinfecting, and it's all about that dwell time. If you've got a mostly clean surface, what you can do is spray and let this stuff dwell. I would come back after the contact time and spray and wipe it up, but you can and wipe up the surface. But you know, you can do some cleaning with this. So if you've got crumbs in a break room on a table or a countertop, if you've got fingerprint, handprints, and things like that, you can use this as a cleaner step first, because it does have soap, detergent, whatever you want to call it. It does have cleaning ability. You know, things like bleach and water. If you use a bleach and water solution, you don't have any detergent, so you don't have any cleaning ability. You have to use a cleaner first.
Right.
And that's why I like something like these two products, because they can be your clean step and then also your disinfecting step, letting it stay wet and having its dwell time.
And I believe the scent, I believe on the 420 is like a lemon scent. Yeah, I see it right here, and I know I've used it in the house. My wife loves it, but yeah, it has a very good smell to it. It's a lemony. I'm not sure if the 410 is the same scent you would say.
Yep, should be very similar to lemon.
It's very similar. I see it. I can see in there's a yellow. Yeah, it looks like Gatorade.
Yeah.
It's got a Gatorade look to it. Lemon.
Yeah, and when you spray these products, you know, the color on these products is very light. The fragrance is also very light. They are not meant to overwhelm. But when we talk about deodorizing, removing bacteria and viruses from a surface really helps to deodorize. So it's not only about leaving something that smells good in the room. It's about removing bacteria and viruses from the surfaces. It also attacks mold and mildew, helps you remove that type of stuff that causes odors. So, you know, the deodorizing factor, people have asked me, what makes it a deodorizer? It's not just the fragrance that we have in it. It's actually removing the pathogens and the bacteria from the surfaces that fester and kind of create their own odor. And that's a big thing.
I've walked into rooms where it's been very, very moldy. You can smell it. It's there. You know the room has not been either cleaned or disinfected, and you can smell it, or if there's a couple of water leaks or anything like that. And of course, something that's not clean, whether it's a kitchen or a room or a dorm room or whatever it is, you walk, or a hotel room, you can tell. You know, it just, even though sometimes you smell deodorant behind it, you still smell the smell. So it hasn't really been disinfected, like you said, just cleaned, but not disinfected. That's why the smell is still lingering.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be wrapping it up here in a minute, because I know everybody's got a lot of things to do, and they want to watch the clip in general. But I just want to thank you once again for being with us, and I appreciate the opportunity to have you here with us today. And, you know, we are stocking these products. So if anybody in South Florida wants to buy these products, just simply go to shop.expressbuy.com with an X only. That's shop.xpress. B as in boy, U as a uniform, Y as in Yankee.com. And also, Tim, how can they reach you as well in case they want to reach out? Because you know you got dealers all over the place. I'm sure you got dealers throughout the Southeast and the West Coast, so on and so forth. How could they get a hold of you as well?
Yeah, I would probably start at midlab.com, www.midlab.com. You can take a look at our website. You know, contact Randy for my contact information, tim.farrell@midlab.com. You know, we only sell through distribution, so we only sell through partners like Randy. We don't sell direct to the customer. So these industrial products, you need a guy like Randy. And Randy, I appreciate you what you're doing out in the field, and also with your educational videos, because I think it's really important to get this kind of information in your customers' hands. So thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. So thanks everyone for listening. Randy Garcia with Office Express here. Until next time, stay safe, put your mask on, practice social distancing, and keep on disinfecting. Have a great one.